What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to InvestQ. I'm very happy to have you on. We have a pretty significant update regarding a ticker symbol that we've covered frequently on this channel, known as ticker symbol BBAI, otherwise known as Big Bear AI Holdings Incorporated. And it's something that I saw on a Reddit post. That's where I first saw it, but it's regarding this, and they put this link also in the Reddit post that came out roughly 9-10 hours ago at the time of this recording. And it's regarding how the TSA has officially announced that its Gold Plus program is going to be replaced. Let me see if I can find exactly where it uses those words. An evolved screening partnership program will replace TSA Gold Plus. So obviously, when I first heard the announcement and when other people heard the announcement, my immediate reaction was that this was not this is the news that Big Bear AI shareholders would prefer not to hear. So overall, it's bad news. And if you look at Reddit and the reactions from it, they kind of have the same opinion as well. So Gold Plus, what it did is it attracted attention because of the broader push toward airport modernization, private sector involvement, AI, biometrics, computer vision, and next generation screening technology. And because Big Bear AI already operates in portions of that ecosystem through Pangiam and its partnership with Analogic, investors have speculated about whether Big Bear AI could eventually benefit from TSA modernization. But I do want to make something extremely clear before I do get into the rest of the video. Right here at the beginning of the video is that nothing I'm discussing today means that Big Bear AI is guaranteed to receive a contract, guaranteed to participate in whatever replaces Gold Plus, or guaranteed to generate any specific amount of revenue from TSA. There are still major unanswered questions, and what I'm going to do is show you the information that I'm looking at, tell you where that information is coming from, separate confirmed information from speculation, and then give you my interpretation of what it could potentially mean for BBAI. Now, where possible, I'm also going to I'm going directly to primary sources, including TSA's own announcement, Big Bear AI's own company releases, government information, SEC filings when relevant, and other publicly available sources. And if something comes from a secondary source or represents speculation rather than a confirmed fact, I'm going to make that distinction clear. Now, I'm not claiming to know what TSA will do next. I'm also definitely not claiming that BBAI is guaranteed to benefit from any of this. So, and also real quick disclosure too, the paid promotion label that you saw in the first 10 seconds of the video refers only to affiliate promotions on this channel. None of the companies that I cover pay me for my stock analysis, and everything discussed is based on publicly available information. It's also based on my own research and opinions, and none of this is financial advice. So let's start off with the things that we actually can confirm. And instead of relying on social media posts or speculation, I'm going to be looking directly at this article right here from TSA's own website. As we do see here that the TSA Administrator David P. Cummins launches Horizon 25 strategy. And basically, this is August 24th. Yeah, it's August 24th today. That's when the article came out. And there is a sentence that I do think is pretty important. I did actually highlight it already about how let me find it again. Yeah, an evolved screening partnership program will replace TSA Gold Plus to better harness the role of private sector in delivering a safer, more secure, and more efficient aviation system. So that part isn't my interpretation. That's coming straight from the source. And again, that's directly from the TSA. So Gold Plus is being replaced by what TSA described as an evolved screening partnership program. But here's where I think we need to be careful, because that does not automatically tell us how Big Bear AI will fit into the new structure. And it certainly doesn't guarantee that BBAI receives anything. What we can say is that TSA's broader modernization objectives appear to remain intact based on the agency's own announcement. And other parts of the TSA announcement, because if you read through the article, you're going to see how the TSA also talks about improving the passenger experience, streamlining the acquisition of new technology, expanding its capabilities to counter unmanned aircraft systems, and advancing other key priorities. And the TSA also says that this strategy will accelerate public-private partnerships with industry leaders across sectors to expand modernization across TSA. Now, again, this is coming straight from the article, and you can see that the TSA announcement, again, you can see the TSA announcement directly on screen, but also if you want the link to it, first feel free to just look at the link in the video. And you also can go into the Reddit post that came out earlier today at the time of the recording to look at the link yourself. Now, there's an important distinction that you need to make, because there's a difference from saying that the TSA still wants modernization in private sector partnerships, comparing that to some claim like, therefore, BBAI is going to get a contract. The first statement is supported by TSA's announcement, and the second one will be more on the lines of speculation. So I don't want to make that claim or speculate. I just want to go off of the information that I have available to me. So when we talk about the negative side of things, because there's lots of people that do feel negatively about this, and I personally don't want to minimize the development either, because if part of your thesis for the long-term vision of BBAI specifically depended on Gold Plus, then I do think that today's announcement creates legitimate uncertainty around your specific thesis. Because there had been numerous discussions online surrounding a potentially very large TSA modernization opportunity involving artificial intelligence, biometrics, and airport security technology. And one third-party article I'm showing on screen discusses a potential $5.5 billion TSA and biometric modernization opportunity. But I do want you to be very careful with the wording here. And again, the source here comes from Mumu Technologies Incorporated. And again, I want you to pay close attention to wording. The article itself, it does say that this opportunity was still in the planning stage and had not yet been officially tendered or awarded. You can see that right here. It's still in the planning stage and not tendered or awarded right there. So it also does say that there was no concrete evidence at that time that BBAI had secured this supposed $5.5 billion TSA contract. So that's extremely important to take into consideration. And because I've seen speculation online suggesting BBAI could receive hundreds of millions or even $1 billion from TSA, those are not numbers that I'm presenting as facts. Those are examples of investor speculation. And as far as the information we're looking at here establishes that BBAI did not have a guaranteed $5.5 billion contract that suddenly disappeared, BBAI didn't lose a guaranteed $1 billion award today per the announcement that came out. So what did change is a potential procurement pathway and potential catalysts that investors had been watching. That's still meaningful and still something to take into consideration, but you do have to realize that that's also different from losing already awarded revenue. So in connection to all of this, where would this put BBAI in the first place? And for this part, let's move away from investor speculation and look at BBAI's own information, because again, as we do know, BBAI has acquired Panjam, which gave additional exposure to areas including airport security, biometrics, and computer vision. And then in June of 2025, BBAI, they did announce that collaboration with Analogic. So I'm showing you the announcement directly from BBAI's website on screen. And according to the company, BBAI's computer vision screening capabilities were integrated with Analogic's computed tomography scanner technology with the goal of enhancing threat detection and streamlining airport security operations. And BBAI specifically identifies its Panjam threat detection and decision support platform, formerly known as Project Dartmouth. Now, according to the company, the platform supports airport security teams with real-time AI-driven threat detection insights. Now, that's the company's description of the technology, and I'm not independently guaranteeing how effective the technology is, and I'm not saying that TSA is guaranteed to purchase it. I'm simply showing you what BigBear.ai says the product does and explaining why investors may see a connection between BBAI's technology and TSA's modernization objectives. Quick reminder before we continue, if you're enjoying the content and want to connect with the community, check out the first link below for the free InvestQ community. And if you want access to advanced stock research and tools, the second link is a Prophecy 7-day trial for just $7. And last, if you want daily market updates and behind the scenes content, follow me on Instagram using the third link in the description. Now, let's get back to the video. So, speaking of all this, and since we're on the topic of Analogic, there's another piece that in my own personal opinion, I think is worth mentioning. Is the fact that according to the same BigBear.ai announcement, Analogic's, I know I'm going to mispronounce this, Connect T, CONN, let me find it for you so I can actually, yeah, right here. Analogic's Connect T, or Connect, I know I'm mispronouncing that, but anyways, the checkport security system is an advanced aviation security explosive detection system. And the company says integrating Pangiam threat detection with Connect is designed to provide real-time insights to airport security professionals. And per the information, according to the information, BigBear.ai provides about Analogic according to the information that BigBear.ai is providing about Analogic, in this release, Analogic has more than 3,000 CT systems and gantries deployed worldwide. So the release also says Analogic's Connect, Checkpoint CT, and Express ATRS security systems are TSA and ECAC qualified. Again, notice how I'm wording this. I want you to take into consideration the fact that I'm not telling you that Analogic works with BBAI, therefore TSA is going to give BigBear.ai a huge contract, because that would be jumping through several hoops and hurdles and, through all the evidence. That would just basically saying, get out of my way. I'm jumping to conclusions that you probably shouldn't jump to in the first place. What I'm trying to say is that BigBear.ai has a documented partnership involving airport security technology, and the TSA has publicly stated that it wants to continue modernizing airport security and streamline the acquisition of new technology. Now, whether these two things ultimately translate into meaningful TSA revenue for BigBear.ai remains unknown. So let's look at some circumstances regarding Gold Plus itself. And for this section, I'm looking at information published from by the American Federation of Government, otherwise known as AFGE. You can see the acronym right there. And because AFGE, apparently they did oppose of Gold Plus, I think it's important to identify them as the source rather than presenting everything that they say as a neutral government finding, because from the AFGE, according to the AFGE, Tampa International Airport decided not to adopt, and in the words it says, Tampa Airport rejects Gold Plus privatization program amid AFGE pressure. So the AFGE, they also say it's opposed to Gold Plus from the beginning, and they filed a lawsuit concerning the program. And according to AFGE's description, Gold Plus would have allowed private contractors to control not only certain screening functions, but also screening technology. So we clearly had opposition to the original structure, but I'm not going to try to claim AFGE opposition was definitively the reason TSA replaced Gold Plus unless TSA itself establishes that connection. And what we can confirm is that Gold Plus, it did face opposition, and Tampa decided against participating, and TSA subsequently announced that Gold Plus would be replaced by an evolved screening partnership program. Again, I showed that to you in this article right here. So I'll highlight it for you again right here, that an evolved screening partnership will replace TSA Gold Plus to better harness the role of the private sector in delivering a safer, more secure, and more efficient aviation system. Now, we're going to get to something that's potentially very interesting, but once again, I want to identify exactly where this number comes from. And according to AFGE's August 24 article, right here, TSA's proposed expansion of the screening partnership program could increase the number of commercial airports using private screening from roughly 20 to 220. Now, that is a potential huge increase, but I'm deliberately saying the word potential because this is AFGE describing the proposed expansion. I'm not presenting 220 airports as a guaranteed final outcome, and I'm definitely not saying that BBAI automatically gets business at those airports. So what it potentially does tell us is that TSA's move away, the rejection of Gold Plus, does not necessarily mean that the agency is moving away from private sector participation entirely. That interpretation is also consistent with TSA's own Horizon 25 announcement, where the agency explicitly talks about accelerating public-private relationships. And some big questions that I have for none other than BBAI would be, how does BBAI actually fit into the evolved SPP? And right now, I don't think we have enough information to answer that confidently. Maybe BBAI participates through a partner, or maybe its technology becomes integrated through equipment manufacturers from people like Analogic maybe. So, or maybe subcontracting creates another pathway. There's a bunch of things that could potentially happen. I mean, another thing could be that maybe the TSA eventually creates additional procurement opportunities. And I guess one other thing that comes to mind is that maybe BBAI, it doesn't receive meaningful business from this at all. That's another potential possibility. So to be clear, all of those outcomes need to remain, or they do remain on the table until we have further information available to us. That's why I personally, and again, you do whatever you want with any information that you find, but I don't want anybody watching this video and walking away thinking that I'm predicting a TSA contract, because I'm definitely not by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm doing is I'm identifying a potential opportunity based on publicly available information and explaining what would need to happen for that opportunity to become meaningful. Now, me personally, if I were to lay out the bearish argument of per what we've seen today for BBAI, for the TSA, but it affects BBAI, I do think it's pretty simple here. And it's the fact that since Gold Plus represented a potentially cleaner and more visible catalyst for the company, and now that that specific program is being replaced, we don't know yet exactly how technology companies such as BBAI could participate in the evolved SPP. We don't know whether BBAI will receive a TSA award. We don't know the potential value of any future award, and we don't know the timeline. There's a lot of uncertainty on the table right now. So yes, I think it's fair to call today's announcement a setback regarding the Gold Plus thesis, but I would not characterize it as BBAI losing billions of dollars in guaranteed business, because I haven't seen evidence that BBAI has ever had that guaranteed business in the first place. On the other side of things, flipping from the bear to the bull case, is a potential bullish argument would be, I'm deliberately using the word potential, by the way. I want to make that very clear. And it's the fact that TSA's own announcement says the agency wants to streamline the acquisition of new technology. And it does say that TSA wants to accelerate public-private partnerships. And it also does talk a decent amount about modernization. And according, again, to the AFGE, TSA may significantly expand the screening partnership program, otherwise known as the SPP. So meanwhile, BBAI has documented airport security technology through PanGam and a documented collaboration with Analogic involving CT screening and AI-powered threat detection. Those facts, they don't guarantee a contract, but they explain why I don't think we automatically conclude that the broader TSA opportunity for BBAI has disappeared. The pathway may have changed, and whether BBAI successfully participates in the new pathway remains to be seen. And one last thing that I want to make extremely important is that Gold Plus was never BBAI's entire business, because when evaluating BBAI, I'm still looking at the company's actual SEC filings, their reported financial results, of course, their backlog, which has continued to grow, and their existing government contracts. Again, they got 20 plus contracts per the recent quarterly period in Q2. And I'm also looking at acquisitions. Speaking of acquisitions, specifically with Ask Sage has been beneficial for BBAI regarding their gross margins. And I'm also looking at international aviation opportunities and everything else happening across the business. And a speculative future TSA opportunity should not be confused with already reported revenue or backlog unless the company actually reports it that way. That's another distinction that I'm going to continue making on this channel. Confirmed contracts are confirmed contracts. Backlog is backlog. Management statements are management statements, and potential opportunities are potential opportunities. And of course, speculation from investors remains investor speculation. I don't want to blur those categories together. So for me personally, where that leaves me is for the specific Gold Plus catalyst, I view this as a negative development. I gotta be honest. That program is being replaced and the original pathway investors were watching has changed. Now, from the broader TSA modernization opportunity, I would describe the situation as uncertain rather than dead. And TSA says itself that modernization is continuing, and it also says that it wants to streamline technology acquisition. And TSA itself says it wants to accelerate public-private partnerships, and BBAI has documented technology operating within the airport security ecosystem. But none of that guarantees that BBAI would receive a contract, and it doesn't guarantee revenue, and it doesn't guarantee that they would benefit from the evolved SPP. So, yeah, that would be my take. That would be my 2 cents. And rather than trying to predict the outcome, I'm going to continue following the actual documents. And if TSA releases more information regarding the SPP, we'll look at it, I'll analyze it, and I'll post a video like I'm doing right now. But speaking about BBAI, let me know what you think about the company. Let me know what you think about the recent developments from the TSA that we got. And please, if you did enjoy the content, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button below, as we are hitting milestones, and we're getting closer and closer to the first milestone that I have regarding the 1,000 subscriber milestone. So with all that being said, again, I do enjoy making the content for you guys. So besides all that, got nothing else. David over here at InvestQ out. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.